This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan, with your host, Nancy Smitham, and the latest news from Alpena Community College with Dr. Olin Joynton. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Nancy Smitham. My first guest today is Christine Wedge from Alpena County Library. Hi, Christine.
Morning, Nancy. How are you?
I'm doing very well, and I'm so excited because you're doing a music series.
We are doing a music series. We were funded by the Sheboygan Area Arts Council, which distributes some dollars for the Michigan Council for Arts and Cultural Affairs, to do a world music series, and we're going to start that in June, every Friday in June, and it's really going to be we've got a terrific lineup to get summer really started off. On the 14th, next Friday, we'll have a Gratitude Steel Band concert.
Steel
and
Band,
that's always a
yay.
fun way to get in the mood for summer, and we're going to hold these concerts, weather permitting, right outside in our courtyard.
Oh,
so
perfect.
If you're coming downtown for any kind of activities in the evening, this is a great way to get your evening started off well, and this will be kind of an island vibe on the 14th for the Gratitude Steel Band. I think that'll be a lot of fun.
And it's right at 5 o'clock, so bring a chair,
right.
Come on down,
bring
and
a
get
chair.
out of work.
We've got some chairs. You know, the downtown development, the DDA.
Okay.
Just put out all those benches. So
Yes.
we've got a bench, one of those at the library that people can use. I think it's going to be a terrific concert. And then the following week, on the 21st, we'll have a man named Harper, and he actually has had a very interesting background musically and has lived in a lot of different places, including Australia, where he picked up the didgeridoo.
Ooh.
And he actually taught himself to play sort of a bluesy type of music on this Aboriginal instrument. And I've not seen him live, but it's really an interesting sound and an interesting notion of how do you take this instrument and use it for something really untraditional. So that'll be a cool program too, I think.
Then on the 28th.
On the 28th, we have Jean Marie and the Lads, and that's a combination of Celtic music and sort of American roots music. And I'll say that a while back, we had the Equinox Celtic Music Concert at the library, and it was hugely attended, a couple of hundred people, very, very popular, and Jean Marie is from that band.
Oh.
So if you really liked that Celtic music, she's one of the performers in that band, and she's bringing 2 other musicians with her to play, some of the same favorites that we loved from the Celtic concert, and take it a little bit more in an American roots direction, which I think will be a really fun presentation.
Oh.
Now, all 3 of those programs, starting at 5, right in the library courtyard, and if it looks like bad weather, we'll just move them right to the conference room.
Okay.
So, we'll plan to be outside and enjoy the sunshine and the good weather that we hope is coming, but if not, we've got the conference room on standby.
Okay. And then also to come, a Japanese percussion drumming.
Right. Now, we decided to take a little bit of a break in July because we've got Summer Book Club coming up and a lot of activities, and folks are out of town for the holidays. So we'll resume then in August, and I'll tell you more about that when it gets closer. But the 2 groups are Ryan Taiko, which is a Japanese percussion group, so they have those giant drums, and they literally are like, it's all choreographed movements, they all move exactly the same. And they wear some really cool, elaborate costumes. And then we'll also have an African drum and dance group come in August as well.
Oh, it's so exciting.
Yeah, so those will be really fun programs, and we're very grateful to the Michigan Council for Arts and Cultural Affairs and the Sheboygan Area Arts Center for distributing those funds to us so that we can bring that kind of music to Alpena.
And you mentioned that word, Summer Book Club. Here we go.
Yes. Well, Summer Book Club this year is really going to be terrific. The theme is Dig into Reading, and we have got a really packed program. We have, in other years, started with a kickoff lunch. This year we decided let's just get right into the programs, and we're going to have a magician there.
Ooh.
So it starts on June 18th. We'll start with sign-ups at 9:30. At 10 o'clock in the morning, we'll go right to a magic show. And then at 11:30, we'll have the $1 hot dog lunch right outside in the courtyard. So
Perfect.
A lot of fun activities then. The programs will just start clicking right away. So then that Tuesday will be the magic show and the sign-up.
Okay.
On Thursday, we'll go right to a special craft day. And then the very next week, on the 25th, we'll have Nelson the Animal Guy.
Oh, I see that.
Boy, he's always so popular. That's such a great program for us. And
It is.
the kids just love it. And a lot of the parents, I think, are as excited as the kids
Oh, yes.
are. Again, this year we have Burger King participating with us, and they'll have a story hour at Burger King on Tuesday nights at 6 o'clock. And again this year, on the 27th of June this year, we'll head out to the Paxton Quarry for a field trip. And that's always really popular. Kids will need to be signed up for the book club, and they will need a special permission slip to attend the Paxton Quarry field trip. So if that sounds like something that your grandkids or somebody that you know would be interested in, make sure they get their stuff in order because they'll need to be signed up ahead. And then we're going to head on over to the Besser Museum and do a fossil day over there. The theme is Dig Into Reading. It seems like a perfect time to dig for some fossils. That'll be July 2nd.
Okay.
And then on July 3rd, we have the Ann Arbor Hands-On Museum coming to do 2 programs for kids. The first one is for littler kids, and it's all about bubbles and bubble making and bubble fun, and they do a terrific job in Ann Arbor with that program, and now they're bringing that show on the road.
I've seen them with those huge bubbles and the sticks
that
and the
kids even stand in the bubbles and stuff.
Yeah, I've seen them in Ann Arbor. Wow.
I think that'll be really a neat one. And then for older kids, they have a program called Roller Coaster Fun that explores some of the science and physics of roller coasters and shows you a little bit about how that works. So that'll be a terrific one. Then after that, we have 2 separate puppet shows on July 9th. 2 completely different ones. So if you see the one in the morning, you can come to the one in the evening. It'll be a whole different show.
Oh, wow.
And then, the carnival already on July 17th. Wow. So it's a packed schedule. I think it's really going to be a lot of fun. It's nice to have a really exciting program or field trip really just about every week. So I hope that'll really get some kids charged up about reading.
And we have just about enough time to mention the computer classes.
We have senior computer classes starting now. The very first session has already started, but there's another one that starts June 17th.
Okay.
This is a 4-session series of classes. And when we say seniors, I don't mean that you have to have a real specific age. The point of the senior computer classes is there won't be a 25-year-old who's been working on computers since birth, sitting next to you saying, come on, let's move it along. I already know how to do this. We'll start with basic things like why would you right-click on your mouse? How should you set up your files? And it's not, because it's 4 weeks, if we need to take a little bit of extra time to help you really understand internet security or how to set up a letter that you want to type, we have a little bit of time. The schedule can be a little bit fluid on that. So we have a lot of seniors who love those classes. You do have to call to sign up. The number's 356-6188. If you dial extension 14, they'll put you right into it. And the classes are $20, and they start at 2 o'clock and run till 4 times in June.
Okay, sounds wonderful. We have about 30 seconds left. So what else do you have to tell us in 30 seconds?
Alexander McCall Smith is coming in November for his Authors in the Fall. He is the author of several series and just a tremendous guy with a really neat life. He's actually written the first book about the legal system of Botswana. He grew up in Botswana, went back to Scotland to be educated, went back to Botswana to teach in their university system, and all the while he's been writing books. He's even served on bioethics committees.
Wow.
I mean, what a diverse kind of guy. And for the community read, we'll focus on his very popular The Ladies' #1 Detective Agency.
Okay, we're out of time. Thank you very much for being here. Look forward to talking to you next month.
Thanks, Nancy.
I'll be right back with Heather Nordenbrock from Thunder Bay Theater following these messages. Hi, welcome back. I'm with Heather Nordenbrock from Thunder Bay Theater. Hi, Heather.
Hi, Nancy.
You are the artistic director for the summer season.
Correct.
And you're starting out with Lucky Stiff.
Yes.
Tell us about Lucky Stiff.
It's a musical comedy farce, lots of fun, high energy, fast-paced. I really think people are going to enjoy it. The music is great. We have a fantastic cast, so it's really exciting. We're happy to bring that.
Okay, tell me a little bit about the story.
Well, there's a shoe salesman who's, sort of stuck at a dead-end job, not doing anything with his life, and his uncle dies and leaves him $6 million.
Ooh.
But in order to get the $6 million, he has to take his dead uncle on vacation and pass him off as live. And if he does that, then he will get the $6 million. But there's a catch. If he doesn't succeed, then that $6 million will go to the Universal Dog Home of Brooklyn, who has sent their representative to sort of check up and make sure he's doing everything he's supposed to, because if he doesn't, they get the money. And just hilarity ensues from there.
So what kind of music are we going to hear?
It's upbeat, it's fun. There's lots of great harmony in it, and the core company we have right now really handles it well. So it's sounding really great.
Okay, tell me who's playing what roles.
Well, we have some people that have been hired in, so some unfamiliar faces.
Okay.
We've got Paul Doctor, who's playing Luigi.
Okay.
We have Amy Groen, who is Annabelle, which is the representative from the dog home.
Okay.
Then we have Mike Adolski, who's actually a Rogers City native.
All right.
And he is playing Harry Witherspoon, the shoe salesman. A funny little story about that is I directed the show in Rogers City about 10 years ago, and this was Mike's first show.
Oh my goodness.
And he was in 8th grade at that time. He actually played Luigi in that show, so it's really interesting to bring that full circle.
Wow.
Then we have Lisa Lull, who is playing Rita, who I can't really tell you much about her without giving away a big part of the storyline. So, but she's very funny and also a great singer. Mac Fountain, who is a familiar face.
Yes.
He's playing the sister or the brother to Rita.
Okay.
He's an optometrist. And then Suni Travis is back.
Oh,
And she's
okay.
also doing costumes. She plays several roles, but her most identifiable role is a nightclub singer from France.
Okay.
And we have Zach Clements back. He's stage managing, but he also plays the dead uncle.
Oh, okay.
So that's fun.
Not a speaking role, obviously.
No, not really. We have a few community members. We have Nick Hartman and Molly Stricker. They play a wide variety of roles too. So they will have a lot of costume changes.
Okay.
And then we also have Nikki Hilton with us, back with us as the technical director. You won't see her on stage, but you'll see her in the set, which is just about done. So
Yay.
yes.
So when can we come to Thunder Bay Theater to see Lucky Stiff?
Lucky Stiff opens on June 19th.
Okay.
It runs Wednesday through Saturday at 7:30 and Sundays at 2 for 3 weeks. So it'll close on July 7th.
Okay.
There's no show on July 4th.
Of course. No show on July 4th.
Right.
And you know, ticket prices are affordable. Come on down,
Yes,
see
absolutely.
professional theater in your own backyard. And what
Yes.
about the need for volunteers? Do you have any need for volunteers?
There's always a need for volunteers. If people enjoy painting, we'll put them to work painting sets. Ushers are always needed. Anything, sewing. Just give us a call and we will find a place to put you to work.
Okay. All right. And then what kind of an audience are we looking for this show? Is it PG-13 or?
Yeah, I think anybody could come and see it, but the younger ones might not understand it quite so much. But there's nothing inappropriate about it. It's a fun show.
Now, are there going to be any songs we're going to recognize?
Probably not.
Okay.
But you'll enjoy them.
Okay. And now, was this an off-Broadway show?
It was an off-Broadway
Okay.
show from 1988. It was the first show of Lynn Ahrens and Stephen Flaherty, who went on then to do huge shows like Ragtime, which was a Tony Award winner, Seussical, Once on This Island.
Oh, wow.
But this was their very first produced production.
Okay, so after this, what's next?
After this, we have Smokey Joe's Cafe, which
Okay.
opens July 17th and runs for 2 weeks until July 28th. It's 50s music, the music of Lieber and Stoller. So You Ain't Nothing But a Hound Dog, Poison Ivy.
Oh, perfect.
You know, all those songs that we all know and love.
Now, are you going to be casting for community members for this event?
I will need a few community members for that one. I will need 1 female and 2 more males, so we will have auditions for that.
Okay, so just kind of watch and listen for auditions.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else you want to talk about today?
Then our last show of the season is called Rat Pack Lounge.
Okay. We kind of can tell what that's about.
Yep. So you'll hear some of those old favorites too in that show.
And I just want to say, always with Thunder Bay Theater, your core company, they're such nice people. They come to town, they integrate into the community. They're out and about and doing things. You guys volunteer for so many projects and events to help people. So give them a thank you. We always need items for the housing. We always can use personal items. We can use sheets and blankets and pillows and all those good things to help out, help augment the salaries that they get, and help out. And most of all, come buy tickets, come to the show. That's what keeps the theater open and viable.
Absolutely.
And that's a reward for all the hard work that everyone does, that applause at the end of a show. And as I said, ticket prices are very affordable. You know, get a group of people together, go out to dinner before or after, make it a fun night, and enjoy theater in your own backyard.
Yep, it's a great time.
Well, I hope you enjoy your summer season. And
I am so far.
We look forward to talking to you again soon.
Great, thanks.
Thank you, Heather. Please stay tuned for Dr. Olin Joynton following these messages.
Good morning. I am Jay Waltwright, Director of Public Information and Marketing for Alpena Community College, and this is the ACC portion of Talk of the Town. With me this morning is Mike Colleen, Director of Admissions for the college. Welcome again, Mike.
Great to be here, Jay. I mean, we got some things coming up at the college to talk about that hopefully people out there looking to get the information.
Mike, you always have great information, and you're always talking about some of the very important things that are going on at the college. Some of the most important things are registration for courses.
Well, yeah. I mean, we are right now in the sort of the heart of the graduation season. All the students graduating from high school, and maybe at graduation parties this weekend or upcoming. Sort of wondering what students are doing, and hopefully they've been thinking ahead. ACC, of course, is a great option, and we are right now. We've got a couple events coming up for registering for classes for the fall. Get it done this summer. The earlier, the better. So we want to encourage people to come in.
Yep. We are holding registration for fall semester coming up in just a few days. But before we get to that, let's also talk a little bit about summer semester, which is currently going on right now. So can you explain how we have two mini semesters and how students can enroll?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we have a 12-week summer that the majority of our classes did start back on May 20th, but we have a selection of classes that are still available that start July 1st. There's a psychology, a sociology, an English, some of those types of classes that you may be looking to grab. Also, there's a number of like 1-week courses out there still. There's an archaeology class, there's a Great Lakes issues, underwater archaeology that go along with our Marine Tech program. So there's some personal interest or some classes that tie into that Marine Tech program. So still some availability for summer. Feel free to come on in anytime for those as well.
And those classes that you mentioned, those are good transfer classes, aren't they?
Absolutely, absolutely. And especially those core classes, that sociology, that history, and English, and so forth. Those are those core classes that pretty much go to any program. Great way to get them in the summer.
They're good for those students who may be off at a university during the rest of the year, but they're home for the summer. And they can pick up a couple credits at will transfer and pick them up relatively cheaply.
Exactly. Those general education ones, it's great to get them close to your hometown. You're home for the summer. Maybe you have a part-time job. Knock a class or two out and then go back and get back in full-time, and you're ahead of the pace back at your four-year school.
That's right, and better off because you spent less money.
Exactly.
Okay, well, that's summer semester. Let's talk about fall semester now.
Yeah, this coming up Tuesday and Wednesday, June 11th and 12th. We've got midsummer registration for the fall, but of course you can come register for those summer classes also. It's going to be from 1 to 5. There's no appointment necessary. Main campus in Alpena only. We do have one in Oscoda coming up. We'll talk about in a minute. Main campus in Alpena, Tuesday and Wednesday from 1 to 5. We do have a new student orientation scheduled at noon in our Granum Theater. Not required, but it is strongly recommended if you're a new student. Go over a lot of services and timelines and transfer stuff. And then you'll be able to see those advisors, get compass testing done. Financial aid people will be there. Get registered for classes. The earlier the better, as classes will fill up. And if you're looking to work a work schedule or maybe daycare, come on in next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, 1 to 5 in Van Leer Hall.
Now, you mentioned something that's very important, which is getting the arrangements made for financial aid. Now, that's not something that they have to wait to do. They could start right away filing the FAFSA.
Absolutely, absolutely. You want to get that financially done as soon as possible. Even if you're looking to maybe take out a student loan, you may be sitting at home thinking, we're not going to qualify. But if you need a student loan to cover some costs, you've got to fill out the FAFSA, which is the free application for federal student aid. It's FAFSA.gov. Real simple form. Go out there, fill out all the demographics, a little bit of income information. List ACC as a school, submit it, and we'll get that going for you as well.
Great. So they can get that going right now. Do they have to apply first before they do that?
We would like you to apply for admission. It's always good to know because we can't process your financial aid without an application for admission on file. You can do that online, stop in and fill a paper form. That's a free application. Just lets us know who you are. We get you in the system, and then the rest of the stuff will flow from there.
Okay, great. So we're talking about some high school students who have just graduated, and now they're thinking about taking classes at the college. They hear about our midsummer registration. What do they need to do besides having financial aid in line?
Well, just come on in, have that application done. If they need Compass placement testing, we'll determine that when they get there. But that's a real free test. It just helps them place them in the correct English, math, and some science classes. But ultimately, they just need to come in, get a chance to sit down with an advisor, work out a class schedule, have a thought in mind of what program of study they want to go into, and we're taking from there.
All right. Now, the June registration is new. Well, we started it last year, did we not? We also have a July registration period.
Exactly. We have 2 days in July as well, July 10th and 11th. Same time frame. That's a Wednesday, Thursday from 1 to 5 as well. Everything's the same, financial aid, Compass testing, advisors will be there. It's just that sort of second time frame we're going to do it. Of course, the earlier the better. But for those who can't make it in June or aren't quite sure what they want to get into, the July dates are there. We are also having one in Oscoda on June 19th, which is Tuesday, or I'm sorry, that's a Wednesday, June 19th. For anybody interested in our Huron Shores campus down in Oscoda, that one's from 3 to 6. They're on the campus on the old Wordsmith Air Force Base, the Hush building. Come on in there as well. No appointment necessary. That's the biggest thing I want to stress. If you're thinking about ACC, come on in. People will be at the front door. We'll get you to where you got to go. Even if you don't know what to ask, we'll help you with what your questions are and get you to the right people.
Real quick, the thing I hear most from new students is that they don't know for sure what program they really want to get into. So how can we address that concern with new students?
Well, if it's a transfer program, if they know they're a 4-year college-bound person, they want to come and get those 2 semesters of English, social science, humanities, a math, a lab science, those macro courses, which is that macro agreement that more or less says these are the core general education classes you can take at ACC, transfer pretty much to any 4-year transfer program. So even if you aren't sure, you're undecided, but you know college is what you want to do, come on in, and there's those core classes we'll get you started with. Technical hands-on classes, plenty of those also, our automotive, our welding, our manufacturing, our CAD-CAM, lots of availability there as well.
All right, well, that's great advice, Mike. Thank you for talking to us about registration.
Absolutely, thanks.
And thank you for joining me. Once again, I am Jay Walterite, Director of Public Information and Marketing for Alpena Community College, and this is Talk of the Town.
This has been Talk of the Town with Nancy Smitham and Dr. Olin Joynton. For a list of events taking place in Northeast Michigan, visit our website at wbkb11.com and click on Community. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production.